when we were still throwing axes some time ago.
Yeah, last season, which seems forever ago now.
That was probably your best regular season finish.
Definitely. Yeah, without even looking. Yeah.
With you're like, hold on to the archives. It's gonna be close. And third place finish overall.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still really really awesome.
It was, for me, it wasn't a big deal. Disappointing, of course, in myself, but I went up against your wife, who kicked my pants. So I was, because it was Jenna, I was so happy with it. We both played really well. It's not like I didn't throw the best that I could. She just was
No,
on fire that night.
you guys had an insane match, and she's came out of nowhere and almost took out Sasquatch,
I
who
know.
is bigger than the refrigerators that we have here at Choppers. He really is.
He is.
It's awesome, but like I said, your playoff finishes don't always match up with your regular seasons. What do you think it is? The pressure or
It's just me. It's just me.
raise your hand if you're the problem. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, it's
that's
just
me. Well, ask anybody who knows me, anyone who's thrown with me, anyone who's watched me through playoffs. You can see me crumble. Keith actually said it on stream several times, and every time I come in and want to slap him after, because I can throw. I know the mechanics of it. I know what I have to do. I can practice well. I can throw 81s in practice. Put me in front of a person, and that's my crumble, which is surprising because in the business I'm in professionally, I am a powerhouse person. I can handle pressure. But for some reason in this, I haven't gotten over that yet.
yeah, more of an uncontrollable situation. Probably there's more factors in it, but
Hmm.
I think you're right on the edge. You got the 77.
My highest score is a 77, yeah.
70s. I know it's a
You,
77.
oh,
I did check the archives. I was deep in those archives because they're
yeah,
not
well,
changing.
3 years of archives for me.
How many people are still like going on Axe scores and looking to see like is anybody's leagues going? Did any
Someone
rankings
said
change?
that on
Like
Facebook the other day that they went on Axe scores just because they had to. They
I would
needed to.
I think it'd be hilarious if they just like messed with it, you know. But so I've been throwing with Krista for I mean I would say like 3.5 years, right?
You were my first coach at Urban.
Right?
Yeah.
Since back in the day, she actually gave my son an axe when he was born.
Mhm.
This awesome crocheted axe right here
So,
that my kids still play with. Like they beat this thing up. Like look at it.
yeah, I need to make
It's a
them
bit
another
flaccid.
one.
Might need a little action in it.
Needs a little stuffing.
So have you been making a lot of these crocheted projects during your time in quarantine?
I have. So I started crocheting about a year and a half ago, and that has been the only thing that's kept me sane being at home. I'm at home alone. Don't even have a pet at home anymore, so it's just me. So to occupy my time, I've been crocheting. So I have baby axes because there's a couple babies coming due.
Yeah.
L Train, Larry and Jamie,
Oh yeah,
in a
that's
couple
gonna be a
months.
fun baby.
He or she is
It's
going
gonna
to
be
be
a
very
fun
fun.
baby.
So I have a Target blanket. If any of you know, I made one for the Caduceus for Asher. So I made, or am in the process of making Larry a Target blanket. Driving home from Canada, he's driving, I'm crocheting, and he said to me, "So, I said, don't worry, it's already in the box."
That's so funny.
And I have a little surprise for them that I tried to make as well. So I like doing it, and the
I
kids
mean,
seem to
those
like them.
blankets are they're insane. They're
Yeah.
awesome, and they're not small. You know, like babies are small, but these blankets.
Well, what I did for Asher was its actual size. So it's a 48 by 48 square. Target's on point. Everything's to scale. And then I made the target open so it became like a snuggie. So he can sit inside the target.
She's only been doing this for a year and a half.
I know. I taught myself how to do that. I was so
It's
proud.
pretty amazing. That's pretty
So,
awesome.
yeah.
But I still have. Is this the first crocheted axe
That
that you made?
was, which they've gotten so much better
Hi.
since then. So,
Well, I will enjoy my flaccid axe, and so will my son for a very very long time.
yeah.
It's a pretty sweet project to work on.
Yeah.
So we are, I guess it would be five days away from what would have been the original Countess Cup date, which Unless Keith's on the phone over there. I don't see anything. No, it's not gonna happen.
No.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! So what is your overall feeling about the postponement?
Well, it came up as a calendar reminder on Outlook today, 'cause I am still working. So it came up as my calendar reminder because I took off half day Friday with the intention of coming here as much as I could and practicing, or just hanging out with people that were coming in from out of town and seeing people I hadn't seen in a while. So when it came up as the calendar reminder, which I knew the weekend was coming anyway, I was like, oh, dagger to the heart. So it really is. When Keith announced this, God, what was it? Around Choptober, he told me about the rumblings of it, and I was so excited. I mean, I was one of the first people that's like, "Yep, sign me up. I need to be in this." And I know that as the tournament grew and as women were added and spots were added, the excitement about it throughout the world.
It literally caught fire. It literally
was
caught fire,
huge.
and I knew that given enough steam that it was going to get to that 256 point.
Yeah.
I don't think they thought it was going to really catch fire like it did, and I think they could have gone even further with it.
I think for the women, it was just something like, wow, this is for us,
Yep.
and the guys get to come and cheer us on and then be part of the Sadie Hawkins, and everyone scrambled to find like their perfect match for Sadie Hawkins. I know I did. I was going to throw a cheese, and to not be able to have it this weekend is a great disappointment. But the upside, the positive side to think of is it's not going away.
No.
Once Keith can find the time, fit it in with whenever we're able to open back up and get the world back to a quasi-normal spot, we will have it again. So it's just a postponed thing. and
Postponed. Definitely not.
all good
Definitely
things.
not canceled. It's still going to happen and on the same epic, insanely massive
Yep.
scale that the Axorn community deserves.
I won't let them.
So what have you been doing to maintain readiness? Because what if what if all of a sudden, they said, everybody come out of your homes, like we can get back to normal, and Keith was like, all right, it's next weekend, everybody get here. Would you be ready to throw? Like, would you be ready if it was still this weekend?
Yes.
would?
Mechanically, I'm there.
Mechanically?
I am throwing the best I ever have. I do have a target, like we discussed. At
Yep.
my
You've
office.
had an office target for how long?
Joe Perry and Shady Vita made it, and then I got it off them. God, a year and a half ago. 2
See,
years
she's
ago?
like pre-quarantine home target. This
I
is the
was,
OG of like home target.
Well, the good
And
thing
it
was-
worked too, like not even at her house. Like she's got to throw
I
work
would
too.
no, it was amazing because I work with my family, and anyone who works in a family business knows that it is positives and negatives in their split down the board. So at lunch, I don't take lunch. I always ate at my desk. If they were really on my nerves that day, I'd go outside for a half an hour and throw a couple axes, and it would all just melt away. And then I'd be able to come back with a refreshed, state. And I'm like, okay, I just put my dad's face on that board. That felt so good.
There you go.
Um,
Just like have like a head of lettuce, and it's like a chopped salad day,
Exactly.
like.
I made my lunch as I was throwing on my target. But it was inside because we had taken on additional square footage in our building, and we didn't have it up and running at that point. So it was inside, and then I got kicked outside when we put a $500,000 piece of machinery in there. You didn't want me throwing axes near that.
Bummer.
So then I had my membership here,
Mhm.
which was amazing because I'd come in and there'd be people to throw with. And that's what I need to practice with, throwing with
Yes.
someone and getting into that match mindset.
Yeah, I loved having the membership here. I only live 5 minutes away, and that was totally on purpose. So I could just come in whenever, and there was usually somebody here practicing too. So in practicing with somebody, being able to bounce ideas off, maybe
Yep.
give them some input, maybe they give you some input, whatever the case may be. But just that, it's like cheers, Hey, what's
Recognition,
up?
yeah.
Like their name sometimes, but they don't know yours. But who cares? But so, where do you go? Where do you go in the meantime now that you don't have this lovely venue to throw in?
So I'm very fortunate that Mary Cackle Mary.
Oh my
Potluck
God,
Mary.
I love Potluck Mary.
She's planning the most epic potlucks when this all ends, so I'm excited.
I want to be involved in anything she's involved in because there's so much positivity and organization.
She is. So I've known Mary for about 2 years now at Urban because I throw black, she throws red, so we're together. But I haven't gotten to know her as well until over the last, I'd say, 6 months, where I've actually spent more time with her. And the passion she does put behind anything, whether it's making her amazing cakes or planning the dojo space, which she did. So she single-handedly went out, scouted places in Delaware County, which is where I live and work. And there's several other people who live in Delaware County who had the same problem. You know, we want to throw, but, you know, Choppers is 45 minutes, Urban's another 40 minutes. Do we want to do that? So she found a space in pretty much the heart of Delaware County. And it's in this old Civil War building. They made uniforms and were convinced it's haunted. The other day we found a pretty scary mannequin in the window. It was a horrible night.
This is like an episode of The Goonies or something, you know? This is great. There's even more to it.
Yeah, she and I were there together, and it's a big space. I don't even know the square footage. I think it's about 1,500, I want to say, because there's
I
two
never know
rooms.
it. You could say like 4,800 square feet, and
I
I'd
should
still
know
be
this.
picturing like an apartment room.
No.
Like I just don't get it. It just doesn't materialize in my mind.
Well, they have 2, 4, 5 targets.
Okay,
in
now we're
there.
talking. Now
Yeah,
we're talking.
There's 5 targets. So she
Jeez.
offered me a membership, long story short, and I took her
She
up
scouted you, huh?
on that. Yeah,
All
she had since they
right.
opened and said, you know, you're here, like, you want to be part of this, we're all for it. And, you know, I'm loyal to people, and I love Keith, and I love my membership here, and which I will resume once we're able to. But in the meantime, I wanted to throw, and I held off for the first couple weeks, and then I called her. I'm like, Mary. So it's been about a month that I've been there, and I go right after work, and I'm the only one there usually at that time. I have been. I throw for an hour, hour and a half, and then go home, and it's great. The practice space is well set up. Steve Jev, he was one of the guys who did some of the construction work.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy named Cheddar from Urban who did electrical work. Like, everyone there did something.
Cheddar, does he know cheese?
Does he know cheese?
Oh my God, I could be like, there
The
it
cheddar
is,
cheese
cheddar
match.
cheese.
We will have to put next
Cheese is
grudge
already
match.
on his phone.
Next grudge match, we'll have to have a cheddar cheese.
There we go. We should just, that's all this should be. We should just do virtual grudge matches.
That?
We could just do one right now. Text both of them. You guys got 10 minutes. Be on FaceTime. Cheddar, cheese, right now.
Cheddar,
You know?
get to the dojo. Cheese, get to your garage.
Yeah, really. You know, cheese is probably just sitting in there, lighting up clutches,
Oh,
wondering
God,
why he
no.
can't do it when he comes in.
You leave him alone. That's my
I
partner.
know. Oh, I love cheese. I love cheese.
So, yeah, they have a great space set up. I know they were planning in April to have an open house.
Nice.
And, you know, obviously that postponed. But they've done an amazing job over there, and it's up and running, and it's beautiful. And Mary is just the hostess with the mostest in every way, shape, and form.
It sounds like you would just eat very well over there. A lot of delicious cakes and treats and so what. But so when you practice there, what would you say is the hardest skill for you to transition from the dojo into match play at Choppers?
Again, just me.
Just you.
Just remembering that I can throw, that I know how to do it.
One bad shot, you're like, I was never good. This has all been a fluke. Years of my life was just luck.
No, Joe Perry right now is probably lighting up the stream going, yep, 3, 3, 3, 3. It's just coming here, and that's why practice kind of isn't the best for me, because practicing on my own isn't my thing. I can do that. It's practicing with people. So I've been FaceTiming some matches with people. I did that with you. Hey, do you want to do a FaceTime match with me? Because although it's not a legitimate, real thing, it's still putting me in that mindset of, okay, we're in a competition mode now. Set up and get where you have to go, which I played sports, so I don't know why this one just gets me, but it
You
does.
need other things going on in the background. So if you don't have somebody to throw with, get like some loud clocks, or maybe like that singing motion detected fish, just random stuff. I like to keep small children, usually my own, around me, causing chaos and mayhem. So it's if you can throw an 81 while there's like kids around, Yeah, well, you probably shouldn't tell people that, but well, let's
see,
just
if there's
forget that
kids
that
around,
ever. I mean,
I'm holding them
yeah,
usually.
there you
so
go.
it's-
They're protected. They're behind the wall. You know, you've all probably met them anyway. But.
You'll know me at an axe event because I'm either crocheting or holding one of the kids.
Or in the lane, lighting it up, throwing
yeah.
big axe bullseyes so hard that they
Well,
would go
I've
right through that
softened
soft
that.
Canadian wood.
I have been practicing softening up my big axe.
Ooh.
And it's worked.
Out of necessity, or was this is a choice?
This is something that everyone keeps drilling into my head. Why do you throw that axe so hard? Like, why do you throw like Vin? Why do you throw your big axe like Vin
Mm-hmm.
when you don't have to? And I feel like my big axe has always been pretty consistent, but then we had our Big Axe Fun League, and it all fell apart. So I thought,
Well, yeah,
all
because
right,
you do throw really hard, and it's hard to repeat that same amount of energy consistently.
mm-hmm.
Especially now when you're not just going to be have like 1 or 2 throws and then like you win, I win. It's like this could be, 9, 10, 11, 12
Yeah.
throws, and that's just the first, the first round
Right.
here.
So I've softened it up in practice, so that practice has helped soften up the big axe throw a little bit, and my accuracy has been pretty on point.
That is awesome.
So I love big axe. It's
I know, I do too. That's the one thing that I'm missing because I don't have enough space. I
Mhm.
had just enough space to put what I have in there,
Okay.
so it's just not safe to practice in there, or I would have to practice it from a shorter distance, which
Right.
I think wouldn't be helpful. So
No.
I've definitely been missing that. So as soon as we're done this, I'm gonna throw some big axes right here on these targets, no
Yeah, I'm gonna
matter
take
what
advantage of
Keith
that
says.
too.
Yeah, I know. We'll hold him down. He's on the phone anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not important.
Keith doesn't say no to me.
I know. He's really a nice guy. Gotta love him. So let's end with a tip of the week from our guest Krista, and give them something good here. What is a good tip that they can take with them and remember and keep in mind?
Well, it really isn't mine. This is something, again, going back to, getting in your own head, that someone has said to me over and over again, Uncle Willie, you're not playing me, you're playing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind. Just keep a level head. You have to throw bulls. It doesn't matter what they throw. As long as you're throwing bulls, they have to match you. So play your game, get out of your head, and just have fun. Because I say that to everyone before I tap axes. I don't know how it started, but every time I play someone, every round, I'll say, have fun. And then we'll tap axes. And I have to remember that myself. Like, I got into this. I kept on this for 3 years because I was having fun. And lately, the past couple months of axe throwing weren't, because I was getting up to that first place point and then bombing playoffs.
You didn't bomb. You had a 3rd place finish.
When you go undefeated in the regular season.
I know. Believe me, I did it. I had one undefeated season, and I came in 2nd to Jake, and he swept me. I felt awful. That's when we didn't like Jake, but now we love him. We love him. He's gonna grab his big Teen Wolf dad beard.
He is.
But so that's a good tip of the week, and that's right. And it's something very simple, but I've said it over and over and over to people, and then when they finally come back and they go, I finally get it. It's only me in there, and you're like, yeah, I've been saying that. They're like, no, but I get it now. And it's no matter what, whether they hit a bull, whether they drop, whether they get a 3, it doesn't matter. You still gotta go get your axe. You gotta throw a bull.
Mhm.
So it really doesn't matter. So taking somebody else out of the equation is really going to help.
That's my tip.
So maybe this whole quarantine downtime is what it's going to take to reinvigorate the people that were putting too much pressure on themselves or weren't having fun or just maybe weren't enjoying it as much as they had in the past.
I said to Jen, so first season, my practice for first season was to join an extra league. So I did Wednesdays here, Thursdays at Mazu, Sundays at Urban. So the Mazu League was my practice, my extra practice. And so I thought, okay, 3 leagues, like I can do this. And it was a lot. And I said to Jen Jen could do at the end of playoffs at Thursday, yeah, I'm not doing this next season. Not doing this next season. So she texted me the other day. She's like, so axe throwing. I'm like, joining every league possible.
I know,
as soon
right?
as this is over, you will not see. I'm going to primitive. I'm going
Dude,
to urban.
They are going to be just filled to the brim.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be involved. I can't
think so.
wait. I'm hoping there's going to be a bunch of one-day leagues that kick the whole thing off and just fire through. Like, just get caught up. Some announcements from the IATF would be cool, but keep checking our Instagram and Facebook or Choppers HH for any updates and news, or maybe I don't know, something cool. Keith comes up with really awesome ideas from time to time. If you need some cottonwood, hit us up. Join our home target page if you have a home target, or if you're interested in getting a home target, because maybe somebody will come and help you build one yourself. I've offered to help Krista multiple times.
We know a guy.
Yep, this guy. And he owns this, Rupert's Pro Shop. That's a little plug. All right. Good night.